Welcome back. Enugu Rangers have won the Nigeria Professional Football League for the first time in 32 years. The Flying Antelopes this evening beat visiting El Kanemi Warriors by 4-0 at a fully packed Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu. Chisom Ebuchilam opened scoring just after 3 minutes from the penalty box. Osaz Okoro made it 2 just before halftime. Ebuchilam got the third and fourth goals in the 64th and 94th minutes to hand Rangers the title. The new NPFL champions will not only get a CAF Champions League ticket for next season, but also 40 million naira from the league management company for their efforts.
They double their lead here. Amaka Kabo is going to set. Covered. Ball coming forward and almost going through. Rangers looking good. They need support. Beats it to his man. Cuts in there. And the chance coming to Rangers. Selfless. Oh, what a goal that was. Everybody stands up for this goal. This is exquisite. This is absolutely atrocious. It is atrocious, really. You can't begin to imagine.
A long-awaited tasteful victory. Another final day matches decided this evening. Rivers United also finished as runners-up in the 2015-2016 league season following a 2-1 win against Aqua United. Rivers United will also represent Nigeria at the CAF Champions League next year. MFM FC escaped relegation on final day after beating FC Ifeanyi by a lone goal. Heartland were this evening relegated to the lower division following a 1-1 draw with Plateau United. Warri Wolves defeated Ikorodu United by a lone goal. Wiki Tourists beat Sunshine Stars 2-0, while Abia Warriors also defeated Shooting Stars 2-1. In the English Premier League, Tottenham this evening ended Pep Guardiola's perfect start this season and underlined their own title credentials with a thrilling 2-0 victory over Manchester City at White Hart Lane. Guardiola had won his previous 6 games and 10 of his previous 11 matches in charge, but City were outplayed by a vibrant Spurs who moved second on the table and are now the league's only unbeaten team. Champions Leicester City's struggles in the league continued as they were held to a draw by Southampton. Earlier, Stoke City's Joe Allen struck late to cancel out an Anthony Martial strike and grab a 1-0 draw against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Daniel Ricciardo has won the Malaysia Grand Prix after an engine failure denied Lewis Hamilton victory and inflicted a devastating blow on his title hopes. Hamilton was over 20 seconds ahead of Ricciardo and his Red Bull teammate Max Verstappen when his engine was suddenly consumed by flames with 15 laps remaining. With this result, Red Bull secured their first 1-2 success in 4 years. Nico Rosberg, who finished in third, now leads the world champion by 23 points. Dozens of people have been killed in Ethiopia's Oromia region as police try to disperse protesters who have been observing a religious festival. There have been protests in the region, sometimes bloody, over government plans to seize land in order to expand the capital, Addis Ababa. The protests turned awry when the police fired tear gas and warning shots to disperse the crowd. The police action triggered a stampede that eventually left 50 people dead, according to the opposition, a figure the government is yet to confirm. Sporadic protests have erupted in the last 2 years, initially sparked by a land row, and increasingly turning more broadly against the government since late 2015. Scores of protesters have been killed in clashes with the police. Thousands of people had gathered for the annual Iricha Festival of Thanksgiving in the town of Bishoftu, about 40 kilometers south of the capital, Addis Ababa. Crowds chanted, "We need freedom" and "We need justice," preventing community leaders deemed close to the government from delivering their speeches at the festival. Some protesters waved the red, green and yellow flag of the Oromo Liberation Front, a rebel group branded as terrorists. When police fired tear gas and guns into the air, crowds fled and created a stampede, some of them plunging into a deep ditch. Witnesses said they saw people dragging out a dozen or more victims, showing no obvious sign of life. Half a dozen people, also motionless, were also seen being taken by a pickup truck to a hospital. Chairman of the opposition Oromo Federalist Congress, Merera Gudina, said at least 50 people were killed, saying his group had been talking to families of the victims. The government blames rebel groups and dissidents abroad for stirring up the protests and provoking violence. It dismisses charges that it clamps down on free speech or its opponents. Protesters had chanted slogans against the Oromo People's Democratic Organization, one of the 4 regional parties that make up the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, which has ruled the nation for a quarter of a century. In the 2015 parliamentary election, opposition parties failed to win a single seat, down from just 1 in the previous parliament. Opponents accused the government of rigging the vote, a charge officials dismissed. Small protests in Oromia province initially flared in 2014 over a developmental plan for the capital that would have expanded its boundaries, a move seen as threatening the seizure of farmland. Thoughts and prayers for Ethiopians there. Now, allies of the U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump have praised him for being a genius in avoiding federal income taxes for 18 years. The information had been revealed by the New York Times, which it said received from his 1995 tax documents showing $915 million losses that allowed him to legally avoid paying taxes. While the Hillary Clinton campaign called the information a bombshell, Trump allies such as New Jersey Governor Chris Christie say the New York Times article was a very good story, as it showed the candidate as a genius. And the main news again. Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole has kicked against the sale of federal government assets. Governor Oshiomhole, who spoke to Channels Television, called on the federal government to carefully consider more options in addressing the current economic challenges confronting the country. Also, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma, has asked international agencies to patronize made in Nigeria goods to support the country's drive for self-sufficiency. That's News at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.
This is Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting.